Hi, friends. Welcome to Enlightened World Network. I am here with Sue Broome for messages from our loved ones. I'm Dr. Ruth Anderson, and we are so pleased to have you here. So, Sue Broome, welcome.
Hello, Miss Ruth and Enlightened World Network. How is everybody doing today?
Wow. Well, we are so excited to have folks join us today. So, Sue, why don't you share out for a minute, and I will share out as well. We're hoping that you will join us for this Prachetta. Hello. Thanks for waiting for us.
Yay, she made it.
Yay, she did. So the way that this works, friends, is that if you have a loved one who you have loved and lost, put your information in the messages for Facebook, and we will see that, and we will ask our spiritual guides for messages from your loved ones. And Sue has this fabulous deck of cards that she created, and it's 12:30 in the morning in India. Prachetta.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
That's devotion, Missy.
No kidding.
That's
oh my
dedication.
goodness.
Okay. So, like I said, if you want to hear from a loved one that you have loved and lost, please put that in the chat and we will get right with you. So Sue is sharing out to her Facebook pages, but Sue uses this beautiful deck of cards, and we just sit and we feel the energy of your loved one and see what the message is. Sue, you held up the cards. Could you show those to us again?
Yes, this is one of the cards. This is the back, it's the same picture on both sides. And then this one happens to say, I send butterflies to you. You know, and that is so interesting because I have been seeing so many different kind of, people think, well, it's wintertime, I'm not going to see butterflies. Well, but I just saw this beautiful thing on Facebook. It was a beautiful, I don't even know what it was, but like a piece of art or something. But it was this mosaic that had all these butterflies on both sides. So think about it. It doesn't have to be your logical brain. The logical way. It's like, well, my brain says it's got to be this way. And it's like, yeah, it might show up in a different way. There might be a butterfly on my t-shirt that I'm wearing today, or you might see the word butterfly.
Right. Yeah. Right. Or you're in the store and you see a greeting card that's got a butterfly on it, or a shirt that's, yeah.
Or you might see a pat of butter with a fly in it. Sorry.
Yes, you could. You sure could.
That's definitely something you see.
You are so funny.
Oh, I know. I just had to do it.
All right. So let me see if I can share this out to yet another group.
Yeah, this is one that I can't share to an Empowerment for You page. It doesn't give me the option, I can do it, and it's like, yep, and there's no post on the bottom. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah,
and Facebook just keeps getting trickier and trickier, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bizarre. I can't even figure out how to do it today.
Yeah, I can save it I can share it on my personal page, but I can't share it to Empowerment for You. So I don't know. And I share it to my story.
Yeah, okay. Let me just give it one more quick second.
While you're doing that, I just saw this post on Facebook, and my cousin, so my aunt is still alive, so this would be my dad's sister-in-law. She's still alive. I'm not sure how old she is, but I know Uncle Bernard, he passed away several years ago. So then you have her daughter, which is my cousin, and then her daughter, and then her daughter. So they have 4 generations, and they're making Christmas ornaments together.
Aw,
Yeah,
how sweet is that?
yeah. So I think it's also, I think that post, even though that's not something that I ever did with my mom, there were decorations that I remember her making, for she used to make Easter egg decorations all the time. I don't think us kids ever helped her. I think she did it with, maybe a group of friends or something, but it's when you see things like that, it kicks off different memories for you. And I think our loved ones are always, it's like, hey, pay attention to that. Because it might spur off something that it's like, oh yeah, I remember doing that, or oh yeah, I remember that she used to have all these decorations. So it's like they're always helping us remember things.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Butterfly, a fly in the butter.
Just
So funny. Well, Prachetta, let's not leave you hanging any longer here. So Prachetta, so seeking a message from the parents for you and your brother, Prachir. But you know what I'm thinking, Sue? I think there's 2 different messages. I think it's one for you, Prachetta, and one for your brother.
yeah, I think so. All right. Her and brother. Very cool. Very cool. I felt that there was definitely going to be 2 cards, and that absolutely makes sense. So yeah. All right. So first, I'm gonna do Pachetta because she's the one that's here. It's 12:30 in the morning. And anybody that pays attention to numbers, the time here is 12:12.
Ah, there we go. After following a whole lot of 11/11s from the other day.
Yep, a lot of 11s and a lot of 1s and 2s together, and
yeah,
just perfect. All right, so there's a card for Pachetta. I didn't look yet, so now we're pulling that card for her brother, and the chimes are just going like crazy. I mean, it is sunny in here, but they've been going off like crazy, more so since Ruth and I joined. So there's her brother's card. Okay.
So which are we doing first? We're doing Prachetta first?
Prachetta, yeah. Whew, I feel like I need to take a really deep breath. Wow. There's an intensity that I'm feeling. Oh, write me a note. This is so interesting. The words I'm hearing is message in a bottle, but that's, and it's, there's a woman that she had written several books years ago. Her last name is No. I think it's Karen No, Noe. And I think it was her that talked about where you could send a letter to your loved one as if you're sending a letter, as if they're living in a different place and you're sending them a letter. But then also after you've sent the letter and you wait, however long, then you write a letter back like it's your loved one sending a message back. I may be getting the facts mixed up, but there's something like that. And I feel like it's similar to almost channeling your loved one. But I feel like, Prachetta, there's a lot of information that if you allow your hand to sit on the paper, I feel like there's a flow there that will come out if you allow it. And it feels like you're like, there's a part of you that is like, no, And there's your mom and dad are going, yes, yes. And even if you just give it a try, even if you sit there and doodle, I feel like that's an important piece for you and will open another stream of connection for you. Wow. Whew.
Yeah. You know what? I think that is, Sue, because I can so see what you're talking about. Your parents, Prachetta, can speak through you. You can hear them, you can feel them, you can sense their messages. But it feels like there's some resistance on your part of, I want to see them as outside of me, rather than I want to allow their energy to flow through me. Not sure what that is, but that's what I'm seeing there.
That absolutely. Because they're kept alive in the heart. They're not kept alive here. They're kept alive in the heart. And even our brain, yes, our brain thinks of them, but it's the heart connection that when you think of something brings on the emotion. So it's like, wow, that was perfect, perfectly said. Perfect.
Cool. So, oh, and the chimes agree over here.
Awesome.
So Prachetta, the visual that I was getting was your mother was showing me a clock. Not a digital clock, but the old timey clock, where the hands actually go around and you have to know how to read an analog clock. It's a lost art these days. But she was showing me that with you being a little girl. And the message I'm getting from that is that as you were growing up, your mother in particular was very aware of time passing. And total goosebumps. And there's grief in that. There's sadness in that, because you know that your time with that loved one is truly fleeting when you think about it. I mean, years seem long until you don't have them anymore. And then you realize how fleeting it was. So she was showing me that. But then on the flip side, she was showing me that in the ethereal realm, there is no construct of time. And so while they're waiting for you to be reconnected as a family together on one realm, she was showing me it's really like the blink of an eye to them, because they don't have time. So while time is so slow and laborious over here, it isn't over there.
Yeah.
I do really believe what she was showing me, Prachetta, is the immense love that she had for you while she was here, that she wanted to savor every single minute that she had with you. There's that much love there.
And I hope, Prachetta, I hope you're able to hear my chimes, because they've been chiming in a lot with the emphasis.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, Prachir.
All right. My feelings of love are real, always and forever. This feels like, it feels to me like your brother has a little bit more disbelief. And I don't know if that sounds like a strong word, but he doesn't feel he feels the connection to your parents, and that's not what he has the disbelief about. It's like that, yes, I love them, but they're gone. And I feel like there's like going into the imagination, he thinks that that's just kind of a bunch of hooey, you know. So I think that Prashetta, actually you helping him, I feel like because you have such a strong connection, it's not like you like telling, and this is for anybody, but it's not like saying, well, this is how you do it. A really easy way to get people to go into that space is say, what was your favorite Christmas or the favorite holiday or the favorite birthday, the favorite whatever that we all spent together as a family? What's your most favorite memory, or the best present that you ever got, or the best time, the best thing that you ever learned from our father or from our mother, and get people talking. And they don't even realize that as they start talking, it's taking them back to that space. And major chills. And that's where the feelings, absolutely, the love is always there. And that connection, when they start talking about, well, yeah, I do remember this time. And then you say, oh yeah, because you can, depending on the memory, you can start adding things in, and it really strengthens that connection. And it's also kind of like I want to say it's an in, an in for your mom and dad, for that connection, to strengthen it. So then when your brother isn't with you, it's like he might start remembering some stuff, and he might even call you and say, do you remember this when we were kids? Or do you remember doing this? So I think that's really because the feelings are real. Absolutely, the feelings are real, and love does not go away. I feel like they're sending a really big hug too.
Yeah, it's pretty intense energy here. Yeah. It's beautiful. So, and Prachetta, I'm sure you'll share this with Prachir, but what I'm seeing is him as a little boy. And it's interesting that they're taking both of you all back to when you were little. So anyway, what I'm seeing is Prachir, and they had him, and I don't know if he actually had a suit. I don't know if that was even part of what you guys ever wore, but like he was being what I call fatouched to, go out in public, and he was going to go do something, but they were like fixing all the little, fixing his clothes and smoothing his hair and, smudging his face. And just there was so much pride in him as he was going out into the world and it could have even just been like a school performance. I mean, something, but they were so proud of him and just preparing him. And I'm seeing different times in his life that he was equally fatouched, cleaned up, straightened up as he went out into the world, but just so much pride. And even as he would go into work every day, just so much pride in him, so much love for the two of you today. I do hope that you are able to really feel it, because boy, it's there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's lovely.
Yeah. That makes sense too. Like why I was getting such an intense feeling when I first started. Yeah.
Okay, Prachetta said, Prachir is also awake and listening. There we go. And he has to leave at 8 a.m, and he's listening. Thank you, Prachir, for staying up.
Absolutely.
And he's thanking both of us and sending love. That's nice. All right. So Lysa, Lysa. I'm assuming that's pronounced Lisa. Prachetta, thank you. Prachetta said, my dad used to dress Prachir for school.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Mm.
Very cool. All right, Lisa Bantu.
Does she say from anybody?
She said, I was hoping for a general message, but not anybody in particular.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, I think, with the holidays coming up, I think there's so many memories people are having come to the forefront of their mind.
Well, in India, they've had a lot of celebrations and festivals lately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, our celebrations are not the same time as everybody else's celebrations.
Right.
And there's birthdays, birthdays and anniversaries are such celebrations. In some families, it's much more than others, or there's traditions that people have that not everybody has. So a friend of mine, they get together and they have a pumpkin rolling. And it's like, that kind of sounds like fun. It's not a pumpkin carving, it's pumpkin rolling. It's like, okay.
Well, the other thought too, Sue, is that it may very well be butterfly season in India. Just because it isn't here doesn't mean it isn't there.
Absolutely. And my neighbor gave me a butterfly magnet that's right over there on the wall just the other day.
Perfect.
All right, Miss Lisa, this is what I got. The love we share is always there. And this love is what makes the world go round. When we focus on the love, when we can just sit and think of our loved one and think of the love that we have for them. I feel like the way that the beams on the sun are, that's what happens. The sun in the center is the love that we have for them. And when we focus on them, it just expands out. And we might feel it in our body. We might feel chills. We might feel almost like a hug coming, or we might have an image of our loved one pop in our third eye, or actually in front of us, some people in front of us. Or you might notice the scent, the scent or the aroma of something. But that is the love connection that is always there. And it's putting a focus on it that brings our attention to it, and it brings their attention to it, or they're putting your attention on it, whatever that is. So just know, I feel like it's really important for people to hear that love is a real thing, and the love connection is really there. It's always there.
That seems to be the theme today, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, Lisa, what I was being shown was a black-eyed Susan, that particular kind of flower. Are you familiar with those, Sue? You know what a black-eyed Susan is?
Mm-hmm.
So black in the middle, and then it's got the yellow.
Mm-hmm.
It's like daisy leaves, black-eyed Susan.
Kind of, yeah. Very close. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as I was looking at that black-eyed Susan, I was asking, so what am I supposed to see on this? But what they want you to realize is how amazing you are. And they took every petal from a black-eyed Susan, and I don't know how many petals they have, but there's quite a few, and attach one thing about yourself to each petal.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not sure you know really what you bring to the table, the gifts that you give to others. and the benefit that the world feels as a result of your being here. And so what they were showing was with this Black-Eyed Susan, every petal has a characteristic or an attribute about you that's fabulous and is truly you. They want you to realize that about you. I don't know. A little pep talk there for Lisa Bantu.
So, do you mind if I read my blog that went out today?
Yeah, no, please, please.
They're always really short, but this seems to really fit with Lisa and something else that you had said a little bit earlier too. So it's a message from the angels, today's date. Dear ones, you are a beautiful child of God. You are loved more than you realize. There is love and light that is within you. That is you. It is within each and every cell of your being. Your light shines brighter than you may believe, yet it is so very bright. Why are we telling you this yet again? Because, dear one, you need to hear this, and you need to feel this, and you need to know it. You are meant to be here today in the world you are in, and you wouldn't be here. You have a reason to be, and you have a purpose, whether you feel you know or not. Love who you are. Love where you are. Find love in each moment of each day. The more you feel this love, the more you will realize and know you are a beautiful child of God. We are always here to assist you in any way we can. All you need to do is ask your angels.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It seems very fitting that to go with today.
Well, not only is it perfect for Lisa, but I was thinking we could all do that thing of just drawing out a flower and coming up with one attribute or characteristic about ourselves that is worthy of notice. Yeah, Lisa said it's a beautiful message. Absolutely. I think we should all do that, Sue. We should come up with our own flower and fill in the attributes. And you're right. If we weren't here with something to give, something to share, I don't think we'd be here.
Right.
And so I would, it's an aside, but it's on point actually. I was at my mom's assisted living place, and I walked in the door and I immediately sussed up that something bad was happening because there were 7 of the employees standing at the door crying. And then they brought out the gurney and someone had passed. So this person, on the gurney, and the staff, they were just crying. And I thought, you know what? This woman was in the most compromised position she had ever been in. She's in memory care. I mean, serious memory care. But look at the lives that she touched. Look at the love that was shared because of who she was, even in that stretch of time where she probably had not much to give, except for the presence of love. Yeah. Ooh.
Well, and even so, go back to your flower analogy and the petals. Those are all things that you can see, but you think about with a flower, many times the pollen that flies away, you can't see it. Now, some you can absolutely. I love it when you can see a bee just getting their fill and they're covered in pollen, but you can't always see that. So you look at how all of that energy goes out. So with this woman that passed, all of her energy is going out, just like the beams on the sun, whether she's she's realizing it or not.
Right.
But, you know, I think people that are in like Alzheimer's, dementia, I know that people that are in the family get frustrated because they're trying to, well, don't you remember this?
Mm.
But it's like, you know what? They're going through their process. So play where they are.
Right. Right. Who's to say that whatever reality they're talking about isn't the reality that they're kind of in? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We lived that for several years. Yeah, exactly. So I want to go back. Lisa said, I truly appreciate the message shared, and she feels humbled. Well, you are truly valued, Lisa. So I hope that you feel that. All right. Prachetta said that Prachir's school dress was a blazer and a trousers with a tie. That's exactly what I saw. My dad used to take pride. Prachir went to a patrician brother school. She said, we miss our parents every minute. We feel their love around us, especially when we receive messages through you. We feel so blessed. And she said, in India, we finished one round of festivals. That's the time we miss our mom and dad more and more. Aw, much love to you guys. And Lisa said, love is an intricate feeling. When we choose to be our true selves, it's easy to naturally share it with no limitations.
Wow, that's very profound.
That is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
When we
It's
choose,
so very true.
yeah, when we choose to be our true selves.
Mm-hmm. Because it's easy then. There's the flow. And that's what love is the flow. Because if we're putting on a facade, it's forced.
But you know what risk taking is involved in choosing to be your true self?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty risky work.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Yeah. Okay. So I am seeking a message for my cousin, Diana.
Your cousin who?
Diana.
Oh, Diana.
Diana.
It's fun because the cousin of mine that I saw with the 4 generations, her name is Diane.
There we go. There we go.
Cousin Diana.
And I'm kind of cheating because I work with her a lot. So I have an inside scoop here.
So this is really your cousin?
It's my husband's cousin.
Okay.
But she actually feels more like my sister right now.
Got it. Got it. Come on, cousin Diana. Oh, I love that.
Did it come flying?
Yeah, I don't even know how I did it because the cards are, you know, this is the top and I'm going like this and the card came out like this.
Wow.
Top up. So Diana, definitely. And that's hold my hand.
Aw.
I feel like that's the support. You know, because what is it when someone is reaching out their hand to you, and I'm getting chills, like all over chills, and there go the chimes. But it feels like that's the support. It's like do you need a hand up? Do you need a helping hand? You know, all of those words, but I can see this hand going out and it feels like there's a couple things. It's like, yes, there's reaching for you, reaching, I'm still here kind of thing. But I also feel like there's a warmness, you know, when you're sitting there and all of a sudden somebody comes up and puts their arm around you. I also feel that there's a strength and there's a warmth that is there.
Yeah. She's getting an awful lot of support from the ethereal realm. And as I definitely see, and it's not just one hand going out to her, there's several hands going to her to support. But I'm also hearing, so it's, we're here to support, but there's also a, you've got this. It's not just, yeah, it's not just you need us, but it's also you've got inner strength here. You've got this. That's beautiful. Thank you.
That also, I mean, that really goes along with what we were talking about earlier too, is remembering how strong we are. And we're in whatever situation we're in because we can handle it.
Right.
Doesn't mean you don't want a shoulder to cry on, you know, or, you know, talk with, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. Pritchetta said, my mom used to make me take photographs of all the holidays, which we used to take. We would go for movies and dinners with shopping every weekend. She would say she will be there for us always. I miss mom so much. And dad passed 12 years before her. And she said, my mom became our best friend after our dad left.
And it's really very cool that you have so many photos and videos that you can go back and watch. I've told, you know, I have a friend that she's got 2 kids, and it's like, yeah, I know. And I know technology is so different today than it used to be. My mom used to tell my youngest brother, stories. She would read him a book, and she recorded it on a cassette, because she would do that so then he could read it. I don't know if she was working at the time, must have been, so he could, you know, listen to her voice and still follow along in the book. And of course, you know, you're a kid, you don't know any better. You tape over those cassettes because there's something better to tape over. But there's one little piece that I have, and it's my mom's voice saying, do you want to hear about the puppy?
Aww.
I still have that.
Aww.
That's all I have of her voice.
Yeah.
But I have it.
That is so beautiful.
So it's awesome when people have videos that they can go back and watch. And
Pritchetta says she has more than 6,000 photos and thousands of videos. And she says she's everywhere at home. She said not so many of her dad, but
yeah.
You know what? She keeps taking me back, Pritchetta, to that clock and the hands ticking minute by minute. And she wanted you. This is so interesting because she was feeling the passing of time minute by minute and holding on to that time with you as sacred. And by having you take all those photos, she was having you live out what she was feeling.
Wow.
You've got concrete evidence that that's what you've got 6,000 pieces of evidence that your mother was holding on to every single moment with you.
That's very cool.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah. That's very cool. And it's, you know, those pictures and videos, those are what take you right back into the memories. It's easier for some people than, you know, closing your eyes and have to do. You can look at a picture. It's like, oh yeah.
Pritchetta says, I didn't mean to interrupt you, so I'm sorry. But I had to jump on this one because no. Pritchetta said, her favorite kitchen clock has gone bad. Mom's favorite kitchen clock has gone bad. And she said, maybe she is scolding me of not getting it repaired. No, your mother's not
No.
scolding you. No, 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 no. Your mother's not scolding you. That kitchen clock is now a representation
Mhm.
of the fact that your mother loved every single moment that she had with you. It doesn't have to run for you to remember that.
Mhm.
So now it's just a piece of art.
And with love, time stands still.
Ooh, Sue Broome.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because think about this. You can be sitting there and go off and have this like huge memory of, going wherever and come back and it's the blink of an eye and the other person is just finishing a sentence, And it's like, yeah, that's right. There is no time.
Right. Yeah. Ooh, that was meme worthy, I would say, with love, time stands still. I want to talk about something else here for a minute, and maybe somebody will. My mom made every day a celebration and special for me and Pritchard. Yeah, because every moment for her was a celebration and was special.
Mhm.
Yeah. I value that your mother was able to take those things that she held so dearly, those concepts that life is special, celebrated, and live it to the point that you got the message. Because not everybody does that. I'm thinking of myself as a parent because I know that there are things that I hold dearly that my daughters both go, nah. But your mother was successful and she lived like a queen. Yeah, and she treated you like her princess. I totally see that. She valued life. Your mother valued life. And that's very, very evident here today. That's very cool. I want to be more like your mom. I want to get those important messages across. So thank you for sharing your mother today because I'm inspired by her. Very cool. I did want to share one thing, Sue. As I'm surrounded more and more by friends and family that are facing their own mortality, and they're just stockpiling at my door. So I'm not sure what that's about, but there is a bunch of that going on these days. I am really seeing that as we're facing our mortality, whether it's coming soon or whether it isn't, we are given the opportunities for spiritual growth and transformation. And when we're needing to do some of that cleaning up of our lifetimes to prepare for the next steps, those lessons can come in very, very quickly. My father lived to be 89. This is my brain going bad, either 88 or 89, I think 89. And he did major repair to relationships during the last year of his life. Those lessons just came in very quickly and healed a lifetime. And I am seeing these particular folks that I know and love facing their possible end of life at some time soon. And they're a little, struck, like, whoa, what does this mean? But to me, it's another opportunity to do the learnings and heal the relationships. And how fortunate we are that Spirit is there to walk through that with us. I don't know. There's just something about that.
I think that you're not alone in that there are a lot of people around us that are feeling their mortality. I do think age, as we get older, not that we're old by any stretch, but
But we are older.
it does make a difference. And me living in a community where it's 55 and over, and the people that I'm friends with really are my two neighbors who, one is 10 years older and the other are old enough to be my parents. So it's interesting, the conversations and hearing also their side of things, because seeing different people in their lives as they transition and how it affects them, and me watching, how it affects them. And it truly is a time where people, it doesn't matter if at the last minute of someone's life, they have a, what's the term, come to Jesus moment, whatever,
Right.
whatever language you want to put around it. But it very well may be in that last breath, or it may be the last year. And it's okay. And I think that people that are left here, that are able to be a part of that, it's really a blessing. And it also speaks to the compassion and the love that the person here, so in this case, you, are able to have and able to give, to help hold their hands as they are going through, or just listen, whatever it is that each person is going through, to be a part of it, to hold their hand, to be the support, or to just, be in the distance and say prayers. It's whatever, it's the compassion. And I think that's what the people that are left behind are really growing in their compassion as they watch people around them transition.
Immense healing for those of us. I'm thinking of my dad in particular. My sister and I were with him when he passed. And because we had that end of life experience with him, we had, seriously, for me, 60, well, at that point, 60 years of healed.
Mhm.
And it is healed. I have nothing but love for him.
Yeah.
But had I not had that end of life experience with him, I think I'd probably still be back where I was, of thinking, I don't know that he loved me so much.
I never made that connection with my brother Steve. So when my dad passed, it was in the 80s. I was in my mid-20s. And I got along with him, and yeah, he could be tough more on Steve, because Steve and him were hang on one second. I got my neighbors come in. Sorry.
Well, we've never had that happen before. So Prashetta was just sharing her gratitude for her mother. That
yes. Funny.
She was just saying that her mother was an educator. Many of her students came over to offer their condolences. Yeah.
See this?
What is that? Oh,
it's a stone.
It's a stone.
It's it's hard to, I think it's like it's kind of like a spirit quartz.
Cool.
My neighbor just brought it over. He's so sweet. So sweet.
You were talking about your brother.
Yeah, so my brother, he and my dad did not get along. And when my dad was in the hospital a lot, as it was getting closer to the end, I don't remember him being there. Now maybe he was, but I don't remember it. But I was there, and I would try to get up there really early in the morning so I could see him before his wife got up there, because she was his wife, second wife. So I would get up there so I could have conversations with him. And her name was Sue. Okay. You know,
That's
but, so I would get up there early, and I was able to have conversations, and, you know, we talked about a lot of different things. And Steve, I don't remember Steve having those conversations. But when it was, so now fast forward to when it was the anniversary of my mom's passing, it was a 30-year anniversary. And Steve and I are at the gravesite, because it was just something that I wanted to do. I had never been there. He knew exactly where it was. So, and he's just talking about what a horrible dad he was and how angry he was. And I'm looking at him like, are we talking about the same person? But he still carried so much anger. And I know that because anger, it just eats away at your body. And I truly believe that was part of all of the issues, you know, my dad had lung stuff. So Steve took on all of this lung stuff from all the men in my dad's lineage, you know, from a couple generations up. He took it all on. And so I never made that connection that my dad and I were able to talk and work through some stuff. Not that I had the same stuff that Steve did,
right.
But I don't have any regrets. And I know that he did the best he could as a dad. So I never made that connection before. So thank you, Ruth.
You're welcome.
And isn't it funny? So that was the neighbor, and he's 85. So he's like, he is, I think we figured out the other day, he's like a year older than my dad would be.
Yeah.
So
that's sweet.
It's very sweet. And I know exactly where it came from. So funny. So funny.
Well, friends, we are going to let you go. Prachetta, thank you for being here. Lisa, thank you. Prachir, always an honor. Diana, thanks, friends. Thanks for being here at Enlightened World Network. Sue Broome, I just love you. Thank you for being
here. I love you back.
All right. We'll see you all soon.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.